Yeah, so we have four things I just want to talk about. One of them very late, but so the four things will be Kite Man, hell yeah, season one. Everybody still hates Chris. I think it on like its third or fourth episode at this point, but I didn't watch the first two. Bleach 2000-year Blood War. Core 3 has started. It's official. Yeah, real shit happened. And then a new show that came out that I didn't know about the manga. I just learned about this like just I don't know like the day it came out on Crunchyroll. Dan da Dan. So yeah, let us talk about Kite Man first. I thought this was pretty good. It's one of those like weird calls to like give Kite Man a spin-off, but in a sense, if you think about it, it makes perfect sense. Because even though he's not that popular of a character, like just the mere subversion of him not being a popular character and him being a kind of a joke and the meta joke of it had a Kite Man in DC. It's like giving Condiment Man or one of these real obscure, silly villains actual, phase and their own story. Make a lot of sense in terms of the from a humor perspective and just mining for gold, that type of humor. And he's pretty funny in Kite Man. He's a kind of a failed son who rich and he just have a dumb gimmick and you have to solve his problems and you have this girlfriend who don't like him, but you find out why she really don't like him, but she kind of like him, but like for real serious reasons she can't like him, and they run that whole arc of him having a little miniature arc in the Harley Quinn show. And they decide to say, okay, what happens if he's out of the story, but what are you going to do? And then they just end up basically making a kind of riff on chairs in the DC universe. But what they do with it is a lot more clever and funny than I expected. So basically, it's Kite Man and his girlfriend, Golden Glider, who's, well, we know is Captain Cold's girlfriend. The two of them, they got together in Harley Quinn, I think season 3, if I remember correctly. And then they decide to go off and go get do something with their life, and basically what they wanted to do is buy a bar. So they end up buying the villain's bar that was being sold out. But what you find out eventually is that Lex Luthor wanted to shut them down for reasons that you learn later. What you find out is that Lex Luthor has access to the anti-life equation. This is in the first episode, not spoiling anything. And he decides to put it in the most shitty, obscure place that nobody would look for. So he basically puts it in the bottom of the freezer under the chicken tenders or something like that in the bar. And that's the whole thing. And what you learn is that everyone start looking for the anti-life equation, because if you know in DC Comics, this is like the big super weapon, ultimate weapon of destruction kind of thing. And that's where they go with it. Like it's just they bring back Bane because he's like the funniest thing in one of the funniest things in Harley Quinn. There's no Harley Quinn or Poison Ivy, but Kelly Cuckoo, she has a couple of voices. But they just have, so they bring in a bunch of great bits. They have characters like, well, Bane is a regular, he's really funny. Lex Luthor is a regular, he's funny too, he comes in. They have, well, of course, Kite Man and Golden Glider, they come in, and Golden Glider has a running plotline with her power set because she's one of those people who have a ridiculously great power set, but she have no control of it, and that's a whole thing. Then they bring in I forget the character name, the story witch woman, who's they change the voice actress, is instead of Wanda Sykes, it's now Jamel from who's the principal in Abbott Elementary.
I think she was in season 2, but I can't remember her name because she was just in one episode. Yeah,
it is the Queen of Fables, right?
Right.
They have her. They bring in Darkseid himself, and they have my boy Keith David playing Darkseid, who's really funny in this. Yeah. But and then they have like a bunch of other side characters that they just bring in, and what they do with it is like it starts off kind of slow, and then when they start revealing the actual plot, it's really, really well done and funny. And why Kite Man stays relevant to the plot line, and you learn how and why. The MVP of this, of course, is Bane Dread. Oh my god. This dude has such great, hilarious lines, Dread.
Nice.
Just really funny shit. They have they do a lot with it, and I didn't expect this to be as funny as it was. I kind of mad that I didn't watch it on time to finish it because I didn't think it would have been good. So I was like, not gonna be with it. And I just decided to binge it. I'm like, oh, this hasn't turned out to be real funny though. I really regretted not reviewing this a couple of weeks back. But yeah, this was real funny and real hard. It just all you need to know two things. Bane highlight for me, and then everything involved with Darkseid's chorus. You'll how you crack it up every time, John. I don't know. I thought this was real damn good, and it totally deserves a season 2.
Nice.
The plot line is it was actually surprisingly interesting. They had a nice, clever twist at the ending with the plot line. Like, it's something you know. Like, it's a question you immediately ask now. Because, like, even though it's goofiness and silliness, it's still in the DC universe. So you'll start asking certain questions, and they answered at the end. Like, they totally answered what's going on at the end, at the end of that. But why surprisingly work is that they actually make Kite Man and Golden Glider interesting characters. Like, they have a lot of their little trauma. They really do the whole normal people in the DC universe thing. Like, they do that really well. Like, it was good in Harley Quinn, but they carry the premise and run it into the ground. Not to the ground, but they run it into a good space in this. Like, how it is to just be normal people in this world, why it works in the context of the DC universe, especially if you're a DC fan and you know what to look for in terms of the jokes and the references. They make like a ton of like jokes about Bane from the Dark Knight, but we know that already with the joke, but they do a bunch of extra jokes. I swear, this might be a deep cut, but I swear the people at Oral North, if you know who Oral North is, look them up. They're really funny. I swear they write for the show because they do a bunch of jokes from their material. It can't be a coincidence that it's the same jokes because they just do, and because they utilize the jokes so well with respect to Bean and whatnot. They make it work. It's really surprisingly funny writing, great voice acting as usual. Everything comes together, great plot line, and I just thoroughly dug the hell out of this. I didn't expect it to be as funny as it was. Totally surprised. I recommend it. It's probably going to make one of the best of the year for me. Rating, like an 8 out of 10. Pretty damn good.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm gonna definitely try to check this out before year's end. All right. So up next is.
Everybody Still Hates Chris.
Okay. Did not get a chance to watch that neither.
And I was very surprised at how good this was. It's basically, and they just nailed the feel of the show. They brought back all the adult actors. None of the kids came back, as far as I know. So I know, what do you call him? Terry Crews is back. Tashina Arnold, I forget.
Tashina Arnold, but Tyler
she comes back.
There. Well,
I don't think Tyler's not there. I don't think it's Tyler, no. But I think he's the executive producer on this, if I remember correctly. Right. But yeah, what they do is they just build from the show directly. Like, it's just what they do is they do something where he quits high school and he tries to get his GED immediately. And the first episode is how he failed the GED exam. But it basically the whole thing was about him being kind of an idiot and everybody making fun of him because he's supposed to be the smart one in the family. But how come he failed the GED? You find out why there's a technical reason why he failed the GED, and then he didn't really fail in the first episode. But this is really good. What they do is they just make literally an animated version of the show. It have the same comedy pacing, the same comedy beats. All the characterization works. The animation not super great. It look a little cheap at parts, but you could tell, it still have a lot of skill involved. It's not that bad. And yeah, this is like way better than I really thought we was going to get the Good Times animated show again. I really thought so. Remember that bullshit that we get with Good Times that they came out with recently? It was so bad.
Two things, right? One, nobody has been talking about since it dropped. And two, it's going to look really, really bad now because Johnny Musto. I mean, R.I.P. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But he was a voice in that? I can't remember.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay, I didn't even know they made a Good Times animated show. What the hell?
Yeah, it's a new animated show. It's a very crass and vulgar take on the beloved.
Oh no!
Yeah, no. Basically, what they do is they update it. Yeah, they update it to modern times. Anyway, I hate talking about the shitty show, but the whole point is that they made it updated. Like, well, it's the future, it's Good Times, but now it's the same place, and the family, all of them age out, and all the kids is adults, older, and the kids grow up now. The jokes and the humor is so bad. Listen, I don't want to, hate to say this, but it's really feel like, well, white people is writing for it then, and white people are writing for it now. It is really feel like it. It feel like some bullshit that Seth MacFarlane write. Look, I like Seth MacFarlane, but he can't write for black people. Like, full stop. Like, he just admit that.
That's true.
Listen, Cleveland show for however seasons it ran. Anyone?
No, here's the thing. Cleveland Show was not half bad, Like, it wasn't half bad, but it was hamstrung by Seth MacFarlane's sensibility of humor. Like, if they gotta get more black writers, make it, sorry to say it, I hate to say it, you gotta make it black. But make it black and modern, like, update it now. You see, to me, American Dad felt more like a black show. Like, if you think about it. Whatever. But this show, anyway, but this show is great. this show is like, it just actually funny. Again, if you like the old show, they nailed this show. And why it works is that, well, it's heightened by the animation. They really do a lot of great like visual gags and bits and the timing of it. They started off really funny by doing like a real life thing, and then the opening joke is the mother saying, "I'm gonna slap you into animation," or something like that. Or I'll slap you into a cartoon, and then you hear this hard slap, and then the entire scene turns from real life to animation. That's a good bit, and it's really funny, and it starts off really strong in that way. I didn't expect this to work as well as it did. The second episode is really funny about a block party involving mac and cheese. Guys all need to know. Watch it. You'll know what you're talking about. But the whole thing is excellent. It's just I really was surprised how well done this is. Again, I hope it the quality stays up and they keep it on point. But I just surprised I enjoyed it so much. And again, this might be making one of my best of the year lists, right? Or at least I mentioned it was just like really good though. Again, judging from the first two episodes.
Right.
I don't get to the others and what we talk about.
All right, that's about that. Let's keep the greatness going now. So core 3 or season 3, or we want to call it.
Right.
Bleach, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so when this finishes at the end of the year, whatever it is, we'll talk about it.
Of course.
Yeah, core 3. As usual, the studio cooking.
Of course.
They start with this episode. It's episode 27 at this point in time. Basically, it's the final fight with the big, well, not final fight, but the big fight with the Zero Squad versus Yuhabak and the Shutstuffle. And yeah, they just started real strong with this first episode where you find out how it is. Because we know in the manga how it turns out, but they made a bunch of changes in the anime and what those changes are, especially involving one of the main characters who should have got more screen time the first time around. Well, we see some of that, and they introduce a lot of new stuff. The animation is amazing. Well, first off, shout out to that new opening. Pretty damn good opening. Just a lot of great style and aesthetic. I think it's the 20th anniversary of the characters. So that's why it does that black and white thing, but it's all characters and all the eyes colored in only. They do that.
Okay.
That's why it looks like that. But yeah, it's just a really great opening, and it is, as usual with these anime openings, it's just foreshadowing what the story is about going forward. That's the way it is, and it is real hard. Basically, we get to see, well, finally the Almighty in action, like if not the strongest ability in the show. The main bad guy has this ability to just basically, he just have a cosmic Uno reverse card, right? That's basically what it is. Like, he just say that shit not happening and it don't happen, or that shit happening, it gonna happen. That's it. You have no control over that. You literally have control over fate. And once he activated, you're done. And that's basically what happened. And we get to see this, and they play it out roughly like the manga, but what they do is they change up how Oryu's fight turns out, like what's going on with Oryu. And now it have a kind of new mystery because Oryu's powers on the fritz for some reason, but we don't know why. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So they just tell that story, they tell it as it is, and then we see the story up to a certain point where we expect it to end. I don't want to spoil the episode, but something happens to somebody very important involving a sword, and you'll see. That's where it is. It starts off strong, loving it, enjoying it. Hype is real. Peak is back.
Nice.
Bleach is back. Yeah, we on point. We're ready. And then the highlight of this little small animation block, the new show on the block, which I never read the manga. A new show called Dan Da Dan.
Yeah.
So first things first. This opening, fucking slaps though.
Wow.
This opening is one of the best openings in a long time. I like, wow. Yeah, this is such a great opening. I absolutely love it. I fell in love with it the second I saw it. Otonoke by Creepy Nuts. That is the name of the band.
Okay.
That song, but the opening just slaps as hell. This is such a great opening. It has great energy. It's not since the first time I haven't enjoyed an opening like this since probably like Watamote's opening, the first opening, I think, or the second opening to Watamote, or remember Death Note's second opening.
Oh yeah, that
one,
that death metal one that creeped.
Yeah, that Water People one, right. Yeah, but it up there with that. Like, it's one of those. Like, it just hype as hell. Really like great imagery. I love they have this like weird like color shading thing with it and moving with it. And yeah, that is about it, I'd say. So what the story is about? It's about these two like high school students, Ayase and Takakura, Okaron. These two characters, they is the joke is that one of them, the guy doesn't believe in ghosts, and she doesn't believe in aliens, right? But he believes in ghosts. He believes in aliens and she believes in ghosts, right? That's the whole joke. And the joke is that they're skeptical about each other's silly things. But in this world, both exist. And you learn why. And it's just a story about her grandmother and why her grandmother is the way it is. And they do a big subversion of that whole thing about the grandmother being, all you need to know is that Turbo Granny, it have a character called Turbo Granny. And that character hilarious. That is all you need to do. But what it is just them having to just encounter this weird paranormal shit throughout the world in this thing. So she proved to him that ghosts exist, and he proved to her that aliens exist. But how they had to encounter the whole thing, it's just the whole thing clash in a weird way. And that's the story. It's just this super weird world. Again, the animation is amazing and really fluid and interesting. It's really, really funny stuff. But yeah, it's if I remember correctly, it's the guy who worked on Chainsaw Man. It's one of the artists. Is this, if I remember correctly. So Tatsu, who worked on, was an assistant for the manga artist of Chainsaw Man. So that's why this is look like this. It's the same as a big style, and it's just like it's the same, kind of like what what do you call it, Inside Job is to something like Gravity Falls.
Okay.
Think of it like that. It's creators with similar style and aesthetics, but they're doing their own thing, and they branch out and doing their own thing. It's a different show. Think it like that. But yeah, this is a new show, and I don't know how big this go blow up or anything, but I feel it go blow up. I feel it's gonna be the new hotness trend. But that shit just funny as hell and really well done. It is really excellent. Loving it right now. I hope it stay quality wise. I know the manga is popular, so I've seen people saying, no, the manga is amazing and so on. So I probably won't read the manga because the anime don't come out. So I'll just see the anime for what it was. So that's about it. Yeah, loving the show so far. So yeah, that's my little animation block we're talking about. That's that.
Yeah, thanks very much, man. So 4 titles, and judging from your reviews, they all sound great. So yeah, I'm a definitely check those out, man. And hopefully when those
Furiously making notes the whole time.
Yeah, yeah. And hopefully when all these seasons are done, we can talk about them here on this show.